Hi friends, and welcome to this video. This is kind of a evening routine in my life. I am 35 weeks pregnant here, and this, I'm going to start out by saying, is not a typical, I guess, evening in our life. Kevin was away, and this is a weekend, so he was away for the weekend, and it was just me and the boys. But I thought I should film one of these because I've had some requests for it. We have a very super simple evening routine. We don't have very many like structured things we do in it. It's very simple, just getting ready for bed pretty much, and then I will do a few things just to help me in this pregnancy, and I will share what that is as I go along in this video. If you are new here, hello and welcome. My name is Hannah, and this is Your Anointed Home. I make videos for wives and mothers who are wanting to steward their homes well, the way the Lord wants them to. And that is my goal with this YouTube and with my website, youranointedhome.com. You can find so many different resources and downloads over there to help you get your home in order for the Lord and His kingdom. So I will have that in the description if you want to check that out. But right now I am 35 weeks pregnant. We are in the last few weeks, and it's crazy to think that we could have another little one so very soon. And this is just a typical evening in our life, keeping it very simple. So I started this video about 6 o'clock. I was cleaning up after we had dinner, and then I always like to do something to get myself ahead for the next day. So this next day we were hosting some people, and I had a very busy day before we had people over to host. So I was trying to get out as much as I possibly could and get that ready so I wouldn't have to worry about a lot of those things the next day. Then we always, most of the time, head outside if we can during the spring and summer weather, and I decided to repot some of my plants. I had a little sprig of pothos I wanted to repot in my bigger pot, and then some peppermint. So I did that, did some transplanting, and got those done. Those will go back in my kitchen as you normally see in the corner. But I wanted to get that done while the boys play outside. We have some toys on the porch for them to play. They have like a little sand pit down in the yard, or they'll just play out with the hose. And then normally, most of the time, as you see in this video later on, they will need baths, so we ended up doing that. It just depends how dirty they get and how our day is going. So they were playing out and getting very wet and muddy. And then I always like to do something for myself. I really started doing at the end of this pregnancy. So while the boys were playing, I pulled out my coloring book because this is something that a friend suggested, and my midwife said I just needed some time to help de-stress my life during these past few months, and I really enjoy coloring if I'm in the mood to do it. Sometimes I would rather much be productive, but I have this very like scenic coloring book that I will sometimes spend a little bit of time in my evenings on while the boys are playing, coloring, and just spending some just peaceful moments doing that, not thinking about anything else. And then most of the time the boys like to pull out their coloring books as well and join me. So I pulled out theirs for a little bit, and before they jumped down and went back to playing. It's always so enjoyable to just have those few moments without doing something that is necessarily productive, but is also helping your mind just feel at peace. So sometimes I will do that. Again, I didn't spend too much time on it because I do like to be productive. So I went back inside and did a really quick tidy of just the house, picking up some toys and cleaning the boys' room a little bit so we could have that done when they have to come in and take baths, and I didn't have to worry about it because I was solo mothering this weekend. So I'm always trying to stay ahead as much as I can. So picking up the toys, getting as much situated there as I could. The boys were still on the porch playing by this point, and I decided, why not? Let's have some ice cream before we go in to end this weekend of just it being me and the boys before Kevin came home the next day. So we had a little bit of ice cream, and then it was time for baths. While the boys are in the bath, I always like to do some type of cleaning around the house if there's some to do. I cleaned out their shoes because, again, they got very sandy and dirty being outside, and I knew we were going to need them the next day, so I wanted to get that cleaned and done. And also while the boys were still in the bath, normally they just play. They're old enough now that I don't have to sit there and watch them the entire time. I'll go back and check while they spend some time there playing. If you can hear, I'm out of breath because of how pregnant I am right now. I'm having a hard time catching my breath, so sorry about that. But I also pulled out some more like paper products and cups so I could have that prepared again for hosting the next day. I just like to get as much as I can done and get myself ahead, whether that's pulling clothes out, packing the diaper bag, packing a snack bag I need the next day if we're going somewhere, getting something ready to host, putting laundry in the wash, just depending on what I am needing to do for the day or two ahead. I'm always thinking ahead and trying my best to stay on top of everything so I don't get behind and feel overwhelmed. So I love doing things like that. I got the boys' room ready, got their pajamas out so I could just get them out of the tub, dry them off, and get them dressed really fast. And normally they will spend some time playing afterwards while I'm either cleaning up or just playing with them, depending on our evening. Like Kevin normally plays with them after we get them out of the bath, and just running some energy out before bedtime. It was time to brush teeth then, and then thankfully they were getting pretty tired. We have boys who do not like to sleep. And one thing I have done is try to do amber lights in our home to try to keep our circadian rhythm. We did watch a show, and while they were doing that, I actually made padsicles because I realized I needed to get those done. So I got those put in the freezer, thankfully, because I am trying to get on the ball in this pregnancy, and it has been so difficult to get everything done while being busy with two little ones and everything else in life. So we watched a show. One of them fell asleep while watching that show, and I turned on Andy Griffith so I could sit a minute while the other one fell asleep. It's just easier to do it that way when one of them's already in bed, and thankfully they were tired enough that they went to sleep at a reasonable time. We do have later nights just because of their sleep. If they go to bed too early, they will be up super early, and that is not great on me either. So I'm taking supplements now. I've shared what supplements I'm taking in another video and over on my Instagram, so if you want to check that out, you can go look back on my other content. So I got those taken care of, and then I decided to make myself a protein chocolate milk. I've also shared this on another video, and I believe it's over on my Instagram as well, just because I will end up waking up hungry throughout the night during this pregnancy, and I just want to get as much protein in as I can. So this I drank really quickly before hopping in the bath. I take a bath every night, and it is so good when you're pregnant to do this. You can look it up, or if you want me to share more about it, I can. Just these are things that I do to help myself prepare for labor and birth. I will do baking soda, apple cider vinegar, and Epsom salts in my bath, and then starting at 36, 37 weeks, I will add rose water as well. So I got that bath ready. I do have a dry brush here, and I also use jojoba oil, but since filming this video, I have thrown away my dry brush because I found out that it was made from pig hair, and if you are in my faith, you don't want that. So that is no longer in my evening routine, but I always like taking a bath by candlelight if I can, and just ending my night there listening to scripture and just relaxing before the end of the day. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this was enjoyable. I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.